First question will be Irish Odell and Warchant.
Okay.
Hey, Odell, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing, Ira?
I'm good. Hey, last season, at least for different parts of last season, Marvin and Corey and even Coop had to play a lot of plays. I mean, there were some games they played way more than I think you've traditionally played your defensive linemen. With the improved depth it looks like you guys are going to have this year, how good is it going to be for those guys to be able to really not have to even worry about pacing themselves because they'll be playing less snaps?
I really think it's going to be great because you got Fabian, you got True, you got Malcolm Ray. Those guys, they've made a lot of improvement, and you could tell on the field that you can see the energy that they have, and that's going to be big for Marvin, Coop, and Corey. And then those guys that came in here, well, Fabian coming in here from another school, and then you got True and Malcolm Ray. They're getting better. I'm really, really excited about those two also.
Next will be Brennan Seminoles with all 247.
Hey, Odell, when we spoke to Coach Norvell, I think it was yesterday, he talked about the depth at defensive tackle and just how important that group is going to be to the team's success overall this season. How good can this group be from top to bottom? Could this be, if they live up to the potential, one of the better groups you've had here?
Well, I'll tell you what, always, I tell my guys, we're doers, we're not talkers. We'll see. The season hasn't started yet. We have potential. Potential means you haven't done it yet. But we got some experience in there, and we all excited as a staff, myself, to see these guys get on the football field. They can be a pretty good group. They got to put it on the field. They got to prove it, though. The way you prove, you practice great. You have develop great habits. That's what we're doing, JP, myself, and Clint. And, trying to develop great habits. That's the most important thing in defensive line play.
Hey there, Coach. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I was on a conference call, ACC media call earlier with Coach Mark Rick, and he said one of the biggest things that's going to be a factor this year is that teams haven't had the time to simulate tackling in practice due to coronavirus. How important do you think that'll be this year?
I think tackling will be very important each and every game, no matter what. You got to practice it. And true enough, we didn't have a spring, but hey, that's life. You got to make the best of what you have. You got to emulate. You got to coach it up. Make sure you striking blocks, getting off them, and make sure you tackle it well. And that's the key. The key to tackling is getting to the football, pursuing. A lot of guys getting to the football.
How's it going, Coach?
Good. How are you, brother?
Doing well, thank you. You've been coming out of that tunnel, Coach, since 1985 as a player, and you're going to do it this Saturday, fourth different coach. I don't even know how many times you've done that. How does the feeling compare doing it through the years? Do you still get the same butterflies? And also, is it a little bit more special this year because there was a lot of doubts this day would even come that you guys be able to play this year?
Yeah, first of all, Gene, every time I come out of that tunnel, it's something about it. It just I get a feeling you can't explain. And, and one day if I don't have that feeling, you'll know why, because I'm not here. But I have a great feeling when I come out of that tunnel. Every day I come out of that tunnel. But, yeah, it's, it's going to be a special year for each and every college team that's playing this year because we didn't know, nobody knew, number God, if we were going to be playing or not. And the kids are looking forward. I'm looking forward. And everybody around the nation, football is a great sport. Football brings people together. It teaches you a lot of lessons about life. And I'm really excited about it.
Kurt Waller from the Democrat.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned Malcolm Ray. I guess looking at him last year, how beneficial was that for him? I mean, was it transforming his body, learning kind of what's going to be expected of him at this level?
That was big. Malcolm came in here. He was undersized, and I told him, I said, you have the frame. You got to take a year. You got to get stronger. You got to get bigger. Malcolm took that challenge when Johnston got here. Johnston got those kids in the weight room. I mean, they worked them hard when they was able to do it. And it helped Malcolm out a lot. His body changed. He has gotten bigger and stronger. and he didn't lose much speed and much quickness. So therefore, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, him go out on the field perform.
Pat Murphy from the outfield. We'll go to Ira from Warchant.
Hey, Odell, some different people on the staff and on the team have made the comment that Florida State has the two best defensive line coaches in the country. What have you seen out of JP since he's been here? What has he brought? Even with all your experience, what has he brought to your guys' segment?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jay, first of all, he's an honorable person. He's a very good person. That's the most important thing in this profession. Seeing what type of people you have around you. Second, he has a great knowledge of the game, and he knows how to teach technique. And the kids love him because he's an honorable person. He's an honest person, and that's big. And he's a very good coach. He knows the game, and hey, him and I, and our personalities match. And I love being around him. And I tell him, I say, man, you know what? One day, JP, we're going to go out, we're going to go fishing. I'm going to take a fish one day. He say, man, I've never caught a largemouth bass. I say, brother, I'm going to get you on stuff. And, he has kids. He takes his kids fishing. I like to see that. He's a little younger than I am. And he asks me questions, and I do my best try to give him the best question I possibly could. But he knows the game. He knows the game. He knows how to teach the game. And he's a great person. That's the deal.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.